And minim say affecting nkrofo bebree. Nkrofo susu akasa ho bebree. Enti menu bedi. Enra mene security for bebree na ekasa e. Ebisa omo nsem na. Onim say ene here woni eko your friend says recruitment as a day and day amoye. And this is not particularly to Honorable Muntaka. Honorable Muntaka is a friend. A very good one at that. But enra course any messages ahudu aminya. It is the reason why I am towing this line. And after speaking to security expert, security consultant. In fact, Honorable Muntaka was in Parliament and said, "Crowd aptitude test na ye no. AI. Na obi anim say normal aptitude test. Moi, sebio mu call University of Ghana. Na mu use system ni e friend Sakai system no. Some of the assignments say be choose be the A, B, C, D. Na multiple choice questions no. Who answer we are, then there you know your score. Uye na unimu score until automatic it marks it and give you your score. So you will be able to say, oh, where am I? Ma passe, men passe, metin, and answer mentin. Then people will have confidence, say, oh, me and I'm translate my chiro. Okay, say, Muntaka be catch and say, one of the reasons 20 years, one years our process and say the be ya and crofo and so be a chin kokase ena mina me market into fa ex bra fa jimbra fa webra fa skase bibra na me pass woni ade ade. It is the reason why they are towing the kind of line they tow. But unfortunately for us, the line now you want to be and to complete. So the mischief you want to kill, you want to be and kill that mischief, The mischief you want to kill, want to be and kill that mischief, And the people still write the exam and they don't know the omunya. And for example, we shall chat with Swa. Obia wa apply. Obi na apply you. And the application no why no. You see online application ni actually completed. Status ni actually qualified. Status ni actually qualified. Ni about step 2. Ni say documentation completed. Status ni qualified. Now after yenya body selection completed. Status qualified. Then we come to the aptitude test. Now aptitude test oba yes completed. Status. But answer abanya the FN disqualification ubadi kanya pending ebidio one say pending. A pending and tiabe pendia na afei abase oh disqualified. Nipa natural exam yet disqualified. No issue. But the disqualification in the power on the paper no wonya hen disqualify no. The results of the exam and nipa natural and wonim you try and so yes are disqualifying. And tianua security experts say that mischief na ye wo mu ni enim say oh enkrofo akotwere exam nipa no wa pass yamfa no one so onim de onyaye no one can say what disqualify no on which basis now disqualify no onyahe because wa twa ne exam onim de onyaye. Honorable Muntaka, you need to look at it again. Yes, I should be say nipa ni twa exam na the person should understand and know de onyaye. Nipa no atwa ne nkrata no e wo so otumi hu say me na metwoe asumesi na metwae because there are people who say in fact you know say there are people who try exam no wie ya me bisa so wunyan o so omunyan fa results no mai but aptitude test of this nature should come with the results there and there which wie ya na ma system no munni ma nko bisa legonfo. They have the Sakai system. Uchro ya obo say road na pam now results about 15. Now one kasa unim said ya uchro no wait in fact one to me nti one kasa in yourself unim say you disqualified dada. But who ko say chire now we say ye mpese obi ka say fa ayibra nti na ye ne sa se de be ye betumi akio that mischief na. Hello Honorable Muntaka, whether you get it purely wrong. And people are lamenting. It is the reason why people are lamenting because you have shredded that aspect of the whole thing in secrecy. And then if I about Bontin as you see almost say, you are trying, you are passing, you see, you are disqualified here because you are great. And will be anyone trying undertakings. And I am urging, say, those applicants should write a petition. So put in an RTI to get the grades of those who have been disqualified and what basis on which they have been disqualified. Because you have shredded that aspect of the whole thing in secrecy. So person are transparent. They say Ababe do pepe and so you shredded those in secrecy. Honorable. Until now people want to go behind and then question. Until now on social media is a whole and nipa no na complaining because you see a disqualify on. Oh yes sir. Enye papa emwa. Ana NDC fo a wo mususu aye peeved. And so because no ebia or per police or per soldier or per yi ba ko feli wa fire service ni ade ni nyina want to me yamfa no enti wo hunu de enti a wo so ko gina wie mu to abade mawo because musu se sentokro mu no mu promise o mu bebrebe se me ba me ye we be fa police ye be fa soldier be fa fire service ni immigration ni ade prisons afi wa ba fani pana say akwakọ ye nkoda na ade amawo. So until me catch you know some of the politicians omonum they talk back. After the reality dawns on them and you see Adia won't to me so me ba me yo. After nipa na jina you see until I don't know but we need to look at our legal system once more. If upon your representation I stand on your representation and take an action and that action become detriment to me, I should be able to bring an action against you. And to what can say my manipana just as some no swag or to about the amount. Oh, baya. Onya hwe fanfa ho. But minim pe aban bia begu ase ya o. But I need for they now started good temper. One would have thought say being in opposition for 8 years no one bana say president and now what to wa opposition and what's up no. One would have thought say things will be done in a way. But to me, this brouhaha, especially within your own party, will be kettle. But I shall say too early. John Dramani Mahama, sit on your damn ass because we fear nanka say huru but sometimes nso ya meti ase so no one sam mabio to no kwade on fa ho kra o pa go batumi akohyepo sua na say ministers too are okay is your new ministers na say wa twini to kra dia fa bi o say dem am boddam dia me pa na me ye me president no me appoint obi anko Tinkrofo tie mu appoint a substantive minister o twa o yina ni ato ba bi kra on famo enti no we recruitment aspect no enti yesterday I was surprised na me ka say bianca security for no be heard oh but a security man sent me a text na asema o kan ye na you put it in two folds and let me just read the what about I say the best practice of aptitude tests dictate that one applicant complete the text via a digital platform, results should be displayed immediately upon submission and completion. What's it? Best practice of aptitude tests. And it said, the moment an applicant in a test no obey any digital no we no wa complete ya submit no ehɔ na ɛwɔ sɛ results no ɛba now ɔtɔso ka sɛ one informing an applicant of passing or failing without disclosing actual test result you may inadvertently fuel conspiracy theory. And yes, that conspiracy theory, no, people are engaging in it. And if you are almost on one pass it, as you pass on one pass, no, you who know the omunya. A business yes, you more fairly. Fair now failing the minyahin, I made the fairly. Pass mark Benny at the 2 4. Yes, when you're 50 hour pass and now when you're 7 time one pass, we don't know. Magwa tro and also results na me try so as to whether the me try kwa mo hu mark ya na so mo hu mark so a eno so menim it is I don't know but anye papa and Muntaka should look at it again and again. There's a dear bin soa, koswa. Me pese ye nyina so ye tumi di hu nkomohwe. Onim se emra ewo krum ha. Especially we call district assemblies ahodo na ebia street light omo na omo hwe so ewo assembly ho. Enti se car bi ede your friend say ne car ekobo street light mu driver be di ne car ekobo street light mu na ebua ye chini empound car na the destruction or destroy is our property of state ni nyina no ye calculate ma ne twia na fe yo twia e wo se ye hunu nyansa ne ye de ko repair mami mawo ade bi mu a mutafa ebia wonam yi your friend say Accra eba afa Ofanko highway no so nam sura de ba be dwane Pokuase o ba be wura be bia Pokuase interchange no wono ufa mu se asa de o ba kwa benya side a tiemie me kire kwan na mo nam so matumi adi adanse da fa video no tu so ma me ntira mahala cha ma sa kwan na enam o free o fru you know edi aba your friend say kwa benya ha no contractor wo ye adwuma no e make sure say asane say tokro ewo ne inside say nti ya to wall afa ho concrete wall eno ma to di afa ho ana akọ n'animu a nti no eno na separate wo mu enam ye friend say ofri Ablekuma kef ebe join Kwabenya enti ofri Ablekuma eba oba be si sa road no so enti eno separate wo mu free Accra eba towards Kwabenya eni omo mu free Ablekuma enso so ebe bo Kwabenya no na akwan yi asiwa maka bi driver bi mi hunu adi aba be bom ama se me ni wo kase yi wall no ni side ebubu enye se wall ni nyina kora na ebu side na bu adi efiri ho ama se ennade na ewo mu a ye di concrete na egu ho no ennade no kora start se e show sa wall we na making ennade ni e show my monitor said the way for bear 6 months me imagine say me hwe say nyansani bia se bia buru ye twa nika e wo Ghana ha ne die ni say obehwe ya kwantempon ye hunu no say enoma ye no okroma no we will have a be last long no sanka ketua bia ya ye e dey am nim say driver ne ye hunu mpo a e wo say sa de we ye fixing in temper and sana the carrying nebu oshani other side now obo say other side so I started ebubu nkitinkiti esan say what the bomb no there have been shakes ewom ye jasa dey way say ebeda ho roads and highways for akwa no mu dia o ya yenta say mu ye kwan wi am konkoda Obianka said, you are supposed to see to the maintenance of the road. And you go to and to wait, young Yanseni, your man in Yada. You bet Chinese say, ya, mana, kwa ye say, ya, Copim say, you won't send in a buria. That's an imbeton budget. I quite you scared because I want to be scared you or man. But sending Kitua Muso, but fix it. I bet you 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 by fixing. What bet you am do millions? Say a bay on say, may send contractor may I fix your dear way. Now, Oria, a yet there, and the side contract 1 million, we are many 300,000-500,000 be due. It is the reason, Crontia. I didn't say it will be was see a maintaining in terminal. Yan that ye bet mana say. Me say, if what is happening in Ghana, some ministries, bia agency, bia ni ade, will behave like how the IGP, the current IGP, behave na, and kabani betumi akonenim. Asa ne sa ade ne ebeto hwa, obetu hwa na mo. Ade ne to hwa obetu hwa na mo fast. Ba wey. Rose Minister, menya say umfa hwa na me ka kire wo. Somebody should tell them. Say Adiani Ebu. In fact, unam kwan so first say unam kwan so no baby e friend say Japia wo say Jaheba Jansen wo pepe na and Nadia na ya na ye say agin so se be ya and also will serve as a guide driver for ni bi wo ho me hunu say bro say den sa bro e bi won so abeyi enti no ma bi nyom fa and also so Nadia di bo obi di kan kokko bobu abuna to baby and the whole basin ne. Sakwa no so ye wi o aha ni over. Ama na na do dan kwa ku for do mpenso. Wa fa garden season da ko twa humema ma se ye yusu. E ho no mo mfisi ade ne wo da di na etu for no roads and highways enye 1 million matter o. Call the person ade na ebusi wo boat ni wo se edi bubom boat ni e opa chiru so amum na meto boat amama wo dia bom yenye bibi na nya fra abrochi memu na mo kọ na mo hu ade no anya say bi o mo say no they fix it and when they fix it when they destroy it they fix it immediately and kanya asem ne yanka enura echi ahomache ka etumi muni fuel tanker etumi muni etokwan mu yetumi tra wo hwe fuel tanker ya ma de echi so na cause traffic wo de wala kra ekura ye say ye won panifo ye won nyansafo adi man nanim no that a common tanker atumi ahwefom ada ho more than 10-20 hours. Ye won mechanism bi ebetum de yi tanker na free kwan mu traffic flow. Hey, what a country. We ye yale ye hu nyansafo mu wo he ye be ko so ebisa nyansafo no wo he if a common tanker kita fuel ehwiase na to me da ho for more than 10 hours. Koshe a mind bi so a tanker ni to wa less than 10 minutes. Fuel na wo mne wo se yi fi mo ye firi mama sa ba disa ya pra ya hohuru kwan so pra ba bia ma ba bia akonanim. Ye timemu atofum esio me say the whole of Accra no traffic aso ba bia. All because ye din crofo to so omunye adwuma mfa mo mangana. Adwuma no first of all omunti ase and esan na eya na mo oti opposition no we bia na gbagbagbagbagbagba ye di seminsem oh chia ohun kura no de ohun kura ohun botano no de kura shem yetimemu ha, and it happens. And all of us will keep quiet. Obi am person beka ho asem. Ye de beka ye ntwe ma ni nyira ansa. Yesi adwenmu no ne yekoam na nya ne dwane mu. Se be nyansa yen yusu kakra adwenmu no ne yekoam nya ne dwane. Ye ntwe ma ni nyira ansa aka ho asem. Asase na no wakoa no. Edua udua no obetumi akoma mu a edua no efifi ya no akuam ewo ntwa ma edua ne nyini aso bekoa uku onyini na okun ebebu nti nyansa yedi jawa ne yedi aso awo ya nyansa ne yedi buma tini ye bebisa se nyansafo no se bisa bi eburu omo he yedi ade jawo. Mr. Adiewe, my monitor 6 months ni, and I'm here, my say okay. And ye bia the penny bia for ho. 6 months down the lane, you find the Roads and Highways Minister on Faho. MP on Faho to Ohun. Sebio, and your MP Juma, but MP no one to me call only minister in the parliament. Oh, minister, ye has a yadine boo until Mount Crawford Mary. You find the MPs who am Faho. Yada masi bebre. But I know me my phone. My monitor 6 months down the lane. Me wonu say asem nyina amoni afrefra. Enti me de my phone me twa me de kire mu. Monhwe na mon konko fix it. Monhwe na mon fix it. Honorable, I'm just drawing your attention. We anye edumakase. Ebi kura dia ukura dia unhui. Agreed. But this thing should be fixed immediately. Don't let it get to the extreme. You can fix this. You can fix this. Ayo.
This government, you know how they came to this country and how a man for na omuwe nyuma go kan hase. That's the first the last 4 years of NDC before more 8 years in the NDA and some MPP about 2016. The hardship Ghana you come no So nanka those and the current diseases everything see beer, they will know how the the NDC mismanage this particular country. Because the NDC that you know, which are here, before you ever talk about your NDC, that was a time doom so get to the highest peak. To the extent say, and that doom so not enjoy your friend is a issue. It wasn't any capacity. It wasn't issue of capacity, but it was about say not on mine. They were not able to manage the economic way to raise the enough income to produce more, power for us. And no, that you can make even private companies. But I hear one day, and I told one day, what's what I bet and I say, see, you need more than 1,000 because company need to go so any age. Oh, my mohasi. So, if those who don't know all these things, now at the end of the day, they are thinking, say, or they were thinking, say, NDC by Obeketi Nyoma. Now, a party or buy went me and recruit even the youth into the government sector. What bizarre was say, on my womb, not a nurses for ye nyabi, or monson yet, a police for or monson yet, teacher for or monson yet. Now, so that period, no, NDC and me and recruit to obia into that sector. But this particular political party, at the end of the day, was able to promise you, say, a bar, maybe implement what we call 24-hour economy. And you see, they were able to, convince the youth of this country. Because don't forget, Ghana has said, we have more than 1 million youth of money admire. And they say, okay, and say, oh, may the 24-hour economy eba, which will run on 3 shifts, then automatically people will vote for you. Mm-hmm. So the reason why the youth are more too good NDC for also support to more campaign from community to community, from village to village, they were thinking, say, this 24-hour economy will create jobs among them. That actually no can say. This 24-hour economy, ever seen there is nothing that this policy has brought.
The other argument has also been said. Recruitment,
and no come about
however, no, they feel that the government has not been, even if you want to be open to all Ghanaians, including the NDC members now, you don't write an exams and come out and say you have failed. When
that's it. Me say, me who be that? Oh, me we sign by. Say exams here, you train online. Actually, oh they say, Yame Adam Unya Akunya ko Legon. Your system a friend is saying Sakai. A honum na say oh tre online exams bia a wo. Especially say multiple choice. And no okwa questions no go so. Question one ba na na choose a abo next na ekọ. Uwie ya now results are show taking crime. No one say de me try ni na me tie ni. Utimi ekọ if statistics ehu nipa dodo ma fail nipa dodo ma ye. Na me say abra omo tro this particular exams. Hwe how our system no ko jame ye. Ebimu eti ho say na system na jame ontimi ntro. If you at the end of the day, utimi ema ho another akwanya so mo sa metro bi. Na obi atro exams awie dache. And then nipa ne who results onya ye say o team bi say one TB and once abasa qualify. Once abasa fail. No be say won say then why? What kind of system is that? The system is so transparent. So me you know, it's very obvious and clear say it is just a system omo ye na omo de ayi ebima film. No more chusu omo nkrofo be sheshe ho no. I know someone. I know someone. I want to hundi, and the person is very good academically, very very good. One of the exams about me bisano, was oh the exams was okay because no most of the things like she was familiar with it. But at the end of the day, you release the results. No, do you know what happened? The very time we release the results, need amount, the appendix are and none of you.
Yes,
and they release it. Yeah, by fail. Disqualified.
Yes.
Now, what kind of
had so many courses and run.
And I'm saying, now what kind of system is that?
And the appendix are
disqualified. So you can clearly see, say, you see, the government just decided to bring something out to be able to just show say they are being transparent. But deep down in their heart, they know say they are not doing that for the entire country. They have just selected some few and then give it to their people. But one thing, so they say, that's it. No cry a womb, and they say, the promise that they made in opposition, no, in some banner, there's certain things that they are not able to do it. And then that's a fact. Obaye, well, imagine a lot of ministries, which I think it is not a bad idea. But I have issue with that because the main purpose of doing that is say we have a cut cost or expenditure at the presidency, right? But that's me know because upon some cut numbers the budget that was allocated to the presidency is even more than 2 years. There are more than 60 members or ministers.
Yeah, call on our main topic for the day. And the deputy finance minister, not or parliament.
Yes.
Now, on my assumption say, in fact, there have been an audit, a forensic audit from the Auditor General's report. Now, as part of those audits, it has come out to say, in fact, we share the transport sector, an alarming of 61.7 million ghosts names in Kwanewo payroll Nuswa. Just a year, in fact, my name is Derek Ayeredia. He said, even apart from that, more pencil, more contracts, say I was say you supply some tons of maize. You tears canon, Nipano and to me and supply rice, the same thing. Nipano and to me and supply, and all this money has gone to the people. Usha agenda 111 year and crophobia omujiska I was almost contract na say omujiska o man chance ye kra and auditor general as a charge of was asking na I was so mufambra. It presupposes to me say as a more time you were not that vigilant, you were just signing contract, giving people mobilization without seeing to it say ejumana nkasa omaye.
Yeah. I don't know, it's also boy now. Are you ready now?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it. On him. I think, sir, Minya Kwan Eshe Etie, the deputy finance minister. And to be frank, I think everything that he said was based on a report that he has received from the Auditor General, right? Is it from the Auditor General?
Yes.
Now, Dachi, I think, sir, he mentioned the fact, sir, NKA transport 140,000, tons of cereals, right? By the end of the day, almost transport to just 35,000, which the cost, I say, a year 30.9 million. However, the government at the end of the day paid 50 million Ghana cedis. You see, when issue of this sort happen, the first thing it says, report, then we try to read how they did the investigation, and then at the end of the day, how they arrived on these particular numbers or figures. That I've said this severally. One of the issue in Africa, the whole world, is corruption. So what I say? Because for the last time I check, I say even in Africa, I say every year we lose 138 billion US dollars, which tells you say if Saskia every year within the continent, which is even more than 25% of our GDP. But that's the report. Abe, this is just a mere allegations.
This is not a mere allegation. This is Auditor General report. Forensic audits.
That's it. Wait.
Auditor General is under the Constitution.
That's it. The entire minority. Again, say before you bet me arrive on any document report from any auditor general or any audit, institution or committee, it has to first come to Parliament. What do I say? It's not a report about Parliament. Then a committee must be formed, and then the committee will go through the audit and look at this and make sure say in some na modia ban ewo enyina so anase ne nyina so.
No. So the Public Accounts Committee, the Public Accounts Committee that deals with the Auditor General's report. The Auditor General so before the Auditor General issues a statement, he writes to you I'm about facility, I'm about company, about who findings way based on your expenditure near the So there's something we call management letter. So they write to you. So okay, these are the infractions. Respond. So the Auditor General take your response to the infractions and then after your response, he comes with an official audit report. And yes, 2000 before when say ebia mutua we no want to be on supply we the entire ko ba sa for response bra with evidence into the response about okay yetua we entumi baska we ko ha you are not able to account for this until the auditor did not take all this, then he puts this in a report. Say this person, we wrote to them, they said that. Then if you look at auditor general, after that my recommendation that management see to it that this money is recovered from this person for this purpose.
Good. Dachi. So okay, your constitution Article 187. It is clear. What do I say? Say Auditor General bring out any reporter or the Parliament, and then a committee will be formed, and then the committee will go through the auditor report, and at the end of the day, try to find out say yes, document now or the buy it will so and I say so. But Sabra Minoka say. Parliament, Omunsanka any report to be out. Are you aware? Just Enra, Enna, the deputy, your friend, the finance minister, Ebekasai, Enna all say, and not forget, prior to that, the current, Atoforcing, finance minister, on about Atoforcing, and making it clear say, payment be one of my soul, Nemo one also see ye mono, or GD say, Ebian Mobi and Koye Mano, into a moment for you, man.
Yes.
Perfect, and all kinds of yes, sir. Ena why don't my young kwan so check here sika abani tua emma other agents and a department on my listening in each one which the Department of Urban Roads, Ministry of Transport, Federal Roads, Agriculture, and all this department I just can call him and he has make issue say yes can I so utriano which case can be ma oh yes a be a so approve for example sika 45.4 billion the Sabane etria. But a bat to say abia 8 billion there and Sabane etria. Because on you say quite a fast you raise tickets. Any sika ebimu elbroso. So what I say, or you say bimu come yet manokra. And until that should be the focus of discussion. But the best of what you say, all these things that we are saying, no, and we don't have a concrete, evidence. We can conclude say, these people, no, that's what I want you to understand. And then when Parliament,
no, it is not but when so for example, I to force him by,
okay, so will be science. I could just cannot.
I to force him by, for example. Now also Pia NSS forecast.
Yeah.
He decided, so no, let's do a forensic audit. Okay. Or forensic audit. You realize that there were ghost names in there. I am saying that your time, you would have signed those contracts, give people to do the job, but never went back to see say what we are doing now, so whether there's value for more.
That's you can't conclude on that.
Why not? Because if ghost names in within the NSS in Yanyabe 500 and something thousand, I presuppose
even NSS, a brought MPP buy, there were ghost name issue there. The same organization will come as So a issue we can try to solve as a nation. So what they are saying. ghost names wɔ hɔnom but me my issue krampo ɛwɔ under contract a yɛ assign am amanfo and you see before a contract will be signed to you and before the government will pay you you will raise a ticket.
Yes.
And when you raise the ticket, just say why you adwuma dum pempen so be into your shop so na den na etua woka. So what I say? Anything say omo ba the end of the day obi government bi aba na say bia we nhwehwemu na say yehu say ebia obi a raise ticket na say wonye adwuma na then that is where the argument should lie. E ba ne say nipa no e typical raise ticket abra na nipa na nye adwuma no. Do not forget when it come to the bureaucratic sector no or the bureaucrats no honum na administration happen and this bring the issue or the debate of should we allow administration and then politics to emerge or we should separate them. So what I say but maybe honum we have to separate them, maybe honum so we have to allow the two to work together. But that mean my personal view from this angle is if say obi ewo omare mo na say at the end of the day you were able to get a contract from the state say so you ma emo omare no at the end of the day if you're not able to do the work na say you were able to find your way and raise the ticket then it tells you say administrators no wo hono no how were they able to do that? You see whenever issues of this sort happens we put, I mean, we are trying to look at the politician. But that corruption, I can't want some crampon. It goes way beyond the politicians alone.
I agree.
I hope you understand.
Sometimes he baffles me.
But last week, I'm trying to answer me. Says economy muya, about some call strike. But I look at it so that the bureaucratic sector no. And no necessarily is it a issue say they were able to play the minds of those administrators or the bureaucrats?
Means
that's the first question.
Bureaucrats who make sure that those certificates were signed
exactly
because obi raises certificates for a work done there should be an audit. And was saying who say okay
you should you should go to the field.
Yes.
And then me national me internship I was a municipal assembly. Na me wo the engineering department. Na adwuma na ye ne say ye the contract na emma amanfo a say ebia gata na say wo ya school na say wo si a all these infrastructure projects no that department in a field e ko check ehwe say ebia before ye director na be sign no we have to go to the field and check and who say yes indeed this particular person has indeed done the work and no at the end of the day no be sign them. But say what now office as a bureaucrat now at the end of the one coffee the honor or as administrator now one coffee the honor one sha sana politicians that do adwin be di agro. Don't forget those who get contract some of them are politicians some also even sponsored politicians before they came to power. Yes. Until at the end of the day, they might try to find their way through and then get something for themselves. So if one is vigilant, and at times if the person that we recruit into the bureaucrat system that they are not good, at the end of the day, it's also bring these particular issues.
But you see, what we are not doing well as a country is just a region, Greater Accra region, and your friend saying, Akwan, and I see a hospital. You an engineer. A regional engineer was the contractor no register certificate that regional engineer no sign that certificate and sana even to the ministry I be say yen process ni yen why is it that say investigation here who say the person read the certificate for X amount but the job done on the ground is not equal to that amount sa engineer no oye adwuma no yen tumi nya no hwe because we believe say a bureaucrat.
You can say, no, the office it has to be protected because unlike a political officer, the president can just disappoint you at any time. Somehow, because that is the problem that we have as a country. Maybe I know this And we are all aware of these issues. So when it comes to this corrupt aspect, politicians, yeah, we cannot take them out from the equation. But at the end of the day, you have to also know that the bureaucrats also must work for I say they are well experienced. We recruit them based on merit. But they also take advantage of that.
Because closer for recently Constitutional Review Committee. Yeah. I can say you're making the controller and accountant, you're making an independent board. See that big
oh, but you see, but it's so easy. If the thing say at the end of the day, it's not going to favor them. And don't forget, everybody fights for his or personal interest. But I know because Closac, you call Makwe. To be frank,
almost one negotiating from 2019 until one negotiating
but actually, you cannot blame them. Can you blame them? Because government is continuous. So what do I say? Abra NDC every abemu. Omoja GDP growth of 56 billion. So what do I say? Yeah, by any better way. Upe umpo be fanasa. But yeah, by yes or no. Yes, so yeah, they call 86 billion. So what do I say? Into my heritage. And he said at the end of the day, if what be to be sana. But government, time, and I think this debate has been on the social media. I said they should blame we the MPP. Actually, if you blame us 100%, you get it wrong, because so check here. Abraham will raise this particular condition of service. We made it very clear. Said by then, the global issue of economy now in a dire situation. Now we are seeing in our economy your problem. Because of COVID and Ukraine war not happening, But by then, Nacho Kaya, end this book as a no. COVID and then Ukraine war had no effect on our economy. But in Namanuka, most they are crying the same cry. If you can effect in the crowd, but still they are started complaining. Because when we say and who's on a bomb or something. But actually the check here it tells you say, yes, indeed, by then we were able to negotiate with them and tell them, say, looking at the global crisis, and yet easy for us to give you all this service of condition of service. That was the negotiation we had with them, and they've been human and they understood and saw what or experienced the global crisis. They were able to cope with that. So if government and one thing, so let's get this clear, before the government or before we call this Closac striking and demonstration striking, it was very obvious. They informed the government. They pre-informed the government and say, oh, this and that. Therefore, you have to work on that. But if government, sabi, sabi, penina, way from our own bedroom, that is how it will work. So that's when it comes to that bureaucratic aspect in it, yes, they are one of they are one of the causes of our problem. Because we always look at the politicians, say, oh, the politicians are responsible for this and that, and then we don't pay attention to the bureaucrat. But at the end of the day, that's in not politicians are shy. Everybody say Minister of Trade. The Sikaya abine so triana, no only more shay. Sikaya abine triana, not only more shay. But at the end of the day,
where the difficulties is, and the Biana American say, Umo be say, won't provide you X metric tons of rice, for example. That's what provided be. What Baso Baba Jessica. One would have common sense has it that before Ukra Ube yes, who signed Bibiamana Jessica, the first badge would have been supplied. But yes, even the first badge in Ankasa on funding in my was a baby Jessica ni bizo kwa Fadia Canaba.
Nache, onim. Se ba policy formulation se yedi yenya ni shandru bi hu se bese tuana mo bi e ma o man na eye politicians na yes ade no aba notice na yes ade no but say parliament nya gitum wi say yes e say ye ade we ya at the end of the day eye bureaucrat na implement so what they say and it is aban gitum say wi eye those are the various departments no omo and make sure say the thing is done. So what they say and at the end of the day, when the person has to supply, and then the minister approves. What does it? Now a call a finance minister no approve we are. At the end of the day, what the minister will be expecting to say obenya certificate that tells you say indeed the work is being done. So what I say, and that is where at times say when you are a minister, no one more near now. Now at times one you follow up. At the end of the day, it go against you because people will forge a document and come and present it to you. So what I say, because don't forget. Those who will get a contract, they are smart. They want to get profit, and it's at the end of the day, you know. Say when you say what you as a minister, what do you expect at the end of the day is just a certificate. The person can find a way to do that. So that's many they kind of say, we as a country, we have to try to solve the problem by trying to kind of moving away from the normal way of doing things and then move to the e-governance. So what I say, see, I'm moving to e-governance and actually, this issue will continue to happen. There should be a tracking system. So, every department every project should be logged in. Every step be so me. Let me can I say, if at the end of the day you have a tracking system, if you're a contractor, and then we give you a contract, automatically we log you into the system. So at every stage we should see an image of what you've done. We should see a video of what you've done, which comes with maybe what's the name of this address? Maybe a digital address. That a bit me add tracing.
Minister in office. Minister in office. Where then?
That's it. Do you think say a minister can move away from all the this?
No, but
don't forget one minister. That's one minister.
So Ministry of Road and Highways.
One minister.
How many ministers?
That's
one minister and the deputy.
A minister
and the deputy.
Okay.
Adentina say mama say construct a roadway from Aha to Atomica. Within the month, mean one day and travel to come and see what we are doing.
That's it. The truth of the matter is
even the president
that's the truth of the matter is we have 16 regions in this country.
Yes.
Every minister, Biana, or office across these 16 regions. If you honor there were 261 MMDAs, of which every department will be for one minister. Within even that department, they also have sub-departments that works on different projects. That's it. The truth of the matter is a very difficult for any minister in this country. So he can inspect every project that happens under his environment or jurisdiction. It's very difficult. That is the reason why other
I agree.
Offices.
I agree, but
that
what
works,
say, the bureaucratic system is failing you and it's making you pay more.
Yes.
Or even pay monies.
Yeah.
But my minister, who the NSA will sign you?
Yes.
No, I meetings.
But no one sign it.
Now we meetings.
Yes.
And just a minister no draw a timetable on the office. Okay, they say the takwa your friends Cape Coast to Takrade my contract. Yeah, the Accra to Kumasi my contract. Yeah, the Hania my contract. Okay, until my main say contract on master here. Until my main 6 months in Siho.
Yeah.
So okay, I will go run the country and inspect those projects even before their certificate come before me. Or now say yeah, who register certificate nearby. Certificate need be what to me the 6 months.
Yes.
And you cannot do due diligence, and especially where the sikani mu do no. Want to me yes supervision and wasa.
And that see that the truth of the matter is you can raise this particular argument, but let me tell you the fact. The current Minister of Roads, Honorable Kwame Agbodja, on me expect all the projects across this country.
But
it's not possible. So that's the entire may raise that issue. We have to find a solution to this particular issue because at the end of the one at the end of this particular administration, you have an issue where the bureaucrat will not do vigilant about some particular project. And we have to move to the digital aspect. let's look at e-governance. There's some things we can just create a platform, log every project across the country, and on every sector, every department, every ministry, can do a follow up. Even the case, sorry, my fancy, and yes, the case, your man minister no, around the country, even within the ministry alone. You see? Oh, send no, that now say, a project within this particular constituency, which is Kwabenya. Now say, we project on your GPS address system that tracks it, and then you put it on the system. We were able to track it. So that will be so simple for us.
Roger.
Yeah, that's it. Medasi. The kind of me for Queen and no, Nadachi. Because me catch up my send message. As a matter of fact, the whole week, na me a chairman who say I think I was starting Greater Accra, and the minute na call Adan, and then dry share as a man if you your communicators in back could be in common. If na me expect send call be say very early. Nti tama wo ko ne ebesi mu no na afi de me rush into ko he kan kwa
ngasa saving kit here
ngasa
some blackberry problem
me say party chairman I want okay Mr. the co-election men fa e bia no ngasa nti no e for me sorry about that even bakono also yirai also around nti me jam phone no say me phone me jama and so direction no I say next time na which me I na media patch e be my for yeah that's a bano issues na you discuss na I think say me nuano we twa biafra esa so de ayi the oka na ebi wom ebi so enye dey enim but there is no way I'll be able to justify any negligence. Why do I say this? That's what here say who your project ewe krasi and also your project ewe site want me nka say until say omosi dan na ewie no nko hu ni weni nti de bia be maniska sanity obi wa mano ni kra na so saniska say emfanye project mano edum pembe bi so a o say video call no hwe o say send the pictures ana receipt facture yes edum baby a nkofo e4G ni ade eye enyama bi eni ade. Into know what we need to do ni say ebe hwehwe kwan ya ebe strengthen supervisory and as supervision of those projects no, so that ya dey etumi aye ni ye when it comes to supervising and as overseeing na almost say to whom much is given much is expected. Into know we opening na dey adwuma bi ahye wonsa na wontumi nya you don't go for it. What's you say? Now okwa rogia omutu constructive road need 15 years omo ba mu metutu omo ye another phase kwa atoso UK omutu means kase road bia expire nti omo san ye South Korea sa Germany road are correct awfa so no omo se omo san ye sanya wa woni na serious canker. It goes beyond negligence. A spirit of patriotism. As I can say, yes, some of the bureaucratic processes and the technocrats, no, when you say technocrats, they are more corrupt, crouching politicians, because the underdealings are question. Sometimes politician has to be briefed, and in their institutions, politicians are one person appointed. If politically the people are do not align with the political party, I'm frustrating. Information be the money be wrong. Documents now, contracts be on the documents near be 500 and something pages. When you be on OPEC and Kanya, and will be a or more. If you want to sign you know more and our contract, you know, no fabukuno or sign every no sign pinpoint me be no from back. But so when you be a na they say we inform no be done anymore na wa sign it. Be done anymore na wa sign it. Be done anymore na wa sign it on Kanya. Technocrats no dey nyama no be very be for we ni so. Ntu be sign with death warrant. And a tung of bebre.
Is it not the reason why it is always said say if you are putting somebody in a position, put somebody who knows about the job. Now,
when it comes to leadership, you don't really need to know. You should have the expertise of managing the people who have the skill.
If you have the expertise of managing, that's a just like you are saying. Who could do ministry? Everyone say who could do ministry? Oh yes, oh yeah, minister for a year. I didn't tell minister for finance. I am going to be our new finance. Say who call roses here. Cement could I wouldn't say near you so way. Oh, the catch will be an offer. But if you are knowledgeable in the sector, now wouldn't you construction or can be you be able to say master.
And yet was a good domain knowledge, domain knowledge, but a ban areas of finance. Well, because of the complex nature of the complexity, and the budgetary allocation, domain knowledge is very key. Domain knowledge is very key because aside all the various ministries would have to bring their budgets, and you have to fuse it into this thing, and you should be able to detect fraud and all other things. So it requires specific skill. Maybe who Ministry of Finance as a skilled way specialized area. Now, Ebano construction and a Ministry of transport and as a Ministry of Agric. You don't necessarily have to be a farmer, but you need to be able to exhibit some leadership traits and other characteristics that ever transform the face of the sector or handle. For instance, you don't need to be have all the professions before you become a president. As a matter of fact, say finance minister in the budget ever told her say president Shrimp. President was technical team or more advising on finance. Everybody can say, and yet finance team na ebo atuforce no. Atuforce in cabinet, but president when the team member no maka say budget here to the abai. There are discrepancies. Be will say I will say the anomalies. I will say yeah correct it, and I say be one more. Into the team now, and I say the people you are who are advising you or who are briefing you, they are the people they should make sure say their expertise is their skill is up to task or up and doing, and make sure say that sense of patriotism, or because they can feed you garbage and then they can feed you with good information, ever transforming the face of the country. What I say, and I make us say naturally, to say a former president, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, naturally he likes reasoning and interrogating issues. Tell me which of the projects are what you say or construct here Osagyefo alcohol physically by himself. Yemfa president Jerry John Rawlings in his youthful days, time was president. One project be on Wangasa Entune na alcohol. What the ama contractor here crown not me could trim share some way. What I say? Let's emancipate ourselves from the idea and say, I am the boss, I have to be in the room. Someone has to come and brief me. All I do is to append signature. Under the administration, one of the intelligent people, and a mistake to their government, the Amopeso chairman, CCI, your friend is saying, Bachi Jako. Sir, ne sign in a merry way, no, say one of the issues, no, or more go for be discussing, say, or sign here without knowing, no brief you, no sign here without knowing the detail. Now, see, almost signing document, but not changing content of the document. Now, you and I have legal education. Lawyer need catch them and say, if they bring a document to you and it is maybe 20-page document, you sign every page. Staple and their boom, no, sign it first and last page. Mostly people want to sign the first and the last. Oh, or so sign it first and last page now. Or make me pin, staple pin, no more replace the middle, it's mostly the contract, contract documents, details, make me adjustment na now what be signing last page into technocrat offer document the coil now we first page second page last page not the beautiful floor. Ask him, how will you know such a thing? And there are certain things yes also here those council until the people who are with us me since that day me nya documents now say me signing as 4 pages I me signing in na last one baby last word no end no last word no because o sign we ni keke so a omo tu omo enti no bibia will say deliberate about doing checks and balances now or can be for digitalizing it. Now I've been with a company in South Korea. Ghana has a crown. So balance scorecard. Any presidency can have a system, maybe a management system. Every ministry's KPI fits into that central listing. They upload their work. As the minister has a KPI to upload. So we are I read our president in the dashboard so it's a signal president say this ministry is not even if every leg in the ministry for instance you ban agric ministry now say agric food and that food your yields your harvest post harvest losses your revenue generation nyama yede support farmers fertilizers anyway now say him say every quarter there has to be a report on the fertilizers and in that report the people who receive the fertilizers have to sign. Are you getting me? Or you bring pictorial evidence until you go into the system. The person who the officer now over field no the KPI fits into the manager. The KPI manager KPI is also feed into the director KPI director KPI fits into chief director's KPI chief director's KPI fits into the minister's KPI say that's a network system click president click on Ministry of Agriculture all the Ministry of Agriculture objectives or na say balance scorecard be show objective balance scorecard ni show financial perspective internal processes learning and growth under Ministry of Agriculture aban no ahye ne ho say over the period I was here training 1,000 farmers to come to light and how to upgrade to another level of farming on bet me exploring your friend is saying I employ and I say deploy technological innovations. It is a president na ama about innovation now I'm a minister KPI now minister also the ama director no so atiche ama various way the president person or share that particular KPI or click on Ministry of Agriculture na ebie na akọ share learning and growth or click learning no share how many farmers have been trained na click na ebie say okay during August we took about 20 farmers to Malawi, we took to Rwanda. These are the training reports, the certificates awarded, pictures feeding into all the attachments into ultimately sit at the comfort of his office. Now only Madia Elkoso ministry bia into way I discussing it has to do with corporate strategy. But yenya sa kind of way no anfa monitor way and keep people accountable. We will just be doing something and for results any day. Now I think say there should be something I classify as a national reorientation. Make sure be say the recent waiver obika say mama yin na yen African way na astatia gibebia no. I think say it is igniting the sense of patriotism. It's reigniting the sense of patriotism because yeni na obia wo Ghana edana kuma so like I don't know how I like I will put it. Like Ghana na kuma so say bibi opeso ye bibi ma on mine no say nya that kind of spirit in that kind of mindset na dia California ye no
because of my time the second topic and it is something that I was thinking about when you say before 2020 election petition
20 elections, yeah.
There was this amendment to our constitution your friend saying election petition time limit I was here the delay in our courts. So the first one, no, to me, quite 7 months. And my did that review no by a so no presidential election petition should be heard in the space of 2 months. I was here. Now, people are making the propositions that when it comes to our criminal jurisprudence and how to deal with criminal issues, we should have a guideline and timeline to it. See, a set criminal proceedings we are here. It should last in between say 6 months or about 6 months. The case should be settled. Yeah, my Auditor General, I say 35 contractors paid $7.9 million under Agenda 111 failed to start work. In this case, they are politicians on better contract. Yes, they work on subcontractor. I'm no 35 on 1 year on man but this money has gone to them. How do we deal with these people as quick as possible?
Once that's it. Sad as a mind, you can say develop your mind now. Yes, also ama political sentiments. Erode your conscience. Na among of again public sympathy. As a matter of fact, nanka ye serious country nanka MP before kwa never listing of no the aba. Say new mundi. Unima de krontia. China. Ubokro no a wasefo ni na ahye.
Do that in a few seconds for me because I need to.
Ubokro no a wasefo ni na ahye. How can you deliberately go for a government contract? Now why nyeshi assassin bi wo no amate say only fence wo pe na yeto ye. How can we go for it as a nation? Na embrano ebe ya nka yemboro China ni other African country bi na say almost embra bi almost say we state person and a political person and as aban eduma ye ni na ye the corruption kodu eboa. The way I can organ and Bremu say you are innocent until proven guilty. And the honors lie on the state to prove that you are guilty, you know. I will say change that narrative. Now, who as an individual, you have to prove say you are innocent. But in an instance like this, Skasema these people should be in jail by now.
But I think just I think let me just start from how it ended. I don't believe we should change that narrative because he who alleges must prove that that is a mechanism just wash masuma. I have to prove that you wash masum. But the question I ask is very, very important. And it is straightforward. Say obi and your contract if you're buying on my name. Not at the end of the Nipana anya, but what Ninsa Kanisika. The law must say its course. When you're there, I bet you so Nipa bio is in there. The law has to just go through and then let's see what. But if you find evidence against the person, automatically the law has to just take its course.
That's it.